Hi, and welcome back to Thone's James Nibbles number 47. Faith without works is dead, part 5 of 9. Demons have faith. What? We've been studying James chapter 2, verses 14 through 26. And the question here is, does faith imply salvation? Why is this in the Bible? Understanding that salvation a little better, because the salvation that we sometimes get a picture of, let's say in a young kid's Sunday school class, is true salvation, but it's more complicated than that. Communication. Faith is not always the only requirement. Not always the only requirement. The application to me. Warren Wiersbe, in his study Bible, summarizes this interesting information and its implications. People are shocked to learn that demons have faith. What do demons believe? For one thing, they believe in the existence of God. They are neither atheists nor agnostics. They believe in God. They also believe in the deity of Christ. They know that Christ is part God, part of God. Whenever they meet Christ when he was on earth, they bore witness to his sonship. They believe in the existence of a place of punishment, and they all recognize Jesus Christ as the judge to send people to that place of punishment. They submit to the power of his word. That is, they obey him when he gives them a direct order. But believing and trembling is not a saving experience. A person can be enlightened in the mind and even stirred in the heart and be lost forever. True saving faith involves something more, a change of life. And, we talk about this often when we're talking about how do we encourage people to be saved and so on. We talk about the fact that we want them to see the change that salvation brought to our life in order that they can connect with that concept, because that's something that once they get to that point of salvation, they need to understand that that's the beginning, that's not the end. And I fear that so many churches and so many pastors have failed to emphasize this enough, that there are churches who are all about saving souls. And it's a big adding machine. Cha-chung, cha-chung, cha-chung. We have 15 salvations this month. And of course, that's an important thing. Salvation is important. But there are other churches on the other side of the scale which rarely ever have a saved person because of their ministry, but have all these teaching programs, discipleship programs, ministries, children's ministries, young adults ministries, and so on, all about teaching after salvation. Well, those ministries are useless if there's no newly saved people coming in, if you see what I'm saying. So we have to have a balance in our philosophy. We want to see a person who professes the Lord. Of course we do. That is the Great Commission number 1, salvation. However, if we don't then follow that up with the necessary information, the necessary training, the necessary example, teaching by example, the change in life, then we're going to have a really sad church. And that's the plain truth. Is, why does nobody come to the training class? Because everybody in the church has already had the training class, and we need more new people. And we get new people. Of course, some move in, some move out, and so on. But we get a lot of new people by them being new Christians or new to true Christianity kind of situations where they're coming from a sort of a frittery church and going into a serious church. That happens too. But we need a change of life for each and every one. God leads us with faith plus obedience plus love. Got a last little equation there. Faith, obedience, love. If we can follow that path, then we're going to do all right. My response: Lord, please give us an active, loving faith. It's not, there's all kinds of stages of loving in the church. I mean, there is, most churches that I'm familiar with, at least, pray for the sick. They pray for the grieving of those who have lost loved ones. They talk about it a whole lot, praying, for things, and no doubt some do and some don't. But an active, loving faith, some churches step up from that is, they bring dinners to, we feed the people that have sick or deceased members to help them get through that time of grieving. And that's great. It's a good thing. Then, there's all kinds of things. There's, someone has just lost their job, and the church steps up and takes them to the grocery store and, buys their groceries for them. That's good. That's an active, loving faith. But the most active and loving faith is going out into the community and seeking new people who are not saved people and convincing them that they should be saved. And that's outreach ministries. And, every one of these has a different good point. And so, just in closing here, we just have to remember that faith alone, demons have faith in the Lord. They know, they obey Him. He says, go, they go. However, that does not make them good Christian people. And in fact, it doesn't make them Christian people at all. That kind of belief is not the kind of belief that is related to salvation. So, we'll talk to you next time.